Dear student, in the last period, we have seen perpendicular axis theorem. You are well known about the statement. There are three mutually perpendicular axes, and this perpendicular axis theorem is only applicable for the plane lamina. Lamina, it means that the thin sheet. This is very important point in this article. Now let us see the application of perpendicular axis theorem. So first application is we have to find the moment of inertia of number of bodies. So first one is our thin uniform ring. So moment of inertia of thin uniform ring. Moment of inertia of thin uniform ring. Uniform ring. So this is our first article. So you are well known that the moment of inertia of this thin uniform ring about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to its plane is IC is equal to mr square. So this is the moment of inertia of a thin uniform ring. Now you are well known about the thin uniform ring. So this is our thin uniform ring. So this is our center. Then the axis passing through its center. This is our axis. Around this axis, this is our moment of inertia, which is IC is equal to mr square. M means mass of a ring. R means radius of the ring. So this is our radius R. Now let us consider here the another two axes which is lying in the plane of a ring. So there are two axes now lying in a plane of a ring. Suppose this is our one axis and another axis is like this. Both are perpendicular to each other. This is our 90-degree angle, 90-degree angle, and this is our x-axis. Suppose this is our y-axis, and this is our z-axis. Moment of inertia about this axis. This is the diameter. This is nothing but the diameter. So therefore, it is treated as a ID. We can rewrite it as a ID. The moment of inertia about this axis, we can rewrite it as a ID again. Both are same because ring is symmetrical. Iy is equal to id and iy is equal to id and ix is equal to also id. And this is our iz. So applying here perpendicular axis theorem to this diagram. So we have here this iz is equal to ix plus iy. So this is the mathematical statement of perpendicular axis theorem. Mathematical statement of the perpendicular axis theorem is Iz is equal to Ix plus Iy. These are the three perpendicular axes. Iz is perpendicular to the plane. This thin ring treat as a plane lamina. This thin ring can be treated as a plane lamina. So therefore we can write here Iz is equal to Ix plus Iy. Now putting the values here. So Ix and Iy is equal to Id. So we can write here the Id plus Id. And this is nothing but the IC. So IC we are well known. So mr square is equal to now twice of Id. And therefore Id is equal to mr square by 2. So this is our moment of inertia of a thin ring about its diameter. Moment of inertia of a ring about its diameter. About its diameter. about its diameter. So this is our moment of inertia of a thin uniform ring by using the perpendicular axis theorem. Now the next is our of moment of inertia. Let us see here how we can prove this, or how we can obtain the moment of inertia of a thin ring about its diameter. So it is given that moment of inertia of a thin ring about its axis passing through its center and perpendicular to plane is mr square. Okay, it is without proof. Mr square is there, or we can prove this also, but in your syllabus it is not. Therefore, we can take on it as a directly. IC is equal to mr square. And now this is our ring. This is our IC axis, or Z axis is the IC axis. Now X and Y are the two axes lying in the plane of the ring. They are mutually perpendicular to each other, and it is along the diameter. Both axes is along the diameter of the ring. Therefore, we can rewrite it as a moment of inertia of the ring about diameter is ID, and Ix is equal to ID, and Iy is also equal to ID because ring is symmetric. Ring is symmetric. Therefore, Iy is equal to ID, Ix is equal to ID. Now, applying here perpendicular axis theorem, Iz is equal to Ix plus Iy. And Iz is nothing but the IC. IC is equal to ID plus ID now. Because Ix is equal to ID, Iy is equal to ID. Now, next is putting here the value of IC. IC is mr square. And adding these two, we have here 2 ID. ID is equal to mr square by 2. So this is the moment of inertia of a thin ring about its diameter. Now similarly, we can obtain here the moment of inertia of a thin uniform disk. So moment of inertia of thin uniform disk. Moment of inertia of thin uniform disk now. So similarly, we are going to find here the about its diameter. About its diameter. About its diameter. This is the article. Now consider here the disk now. So this is our disk suppose. This is our disk. So this disk is thin here, thickness is negligible. Now this is our axis which is passing through the center and perpendicular to its plane. And moment of inertia of the disk about this axis is known as a moment of inertia about center of mass. About an axis passing through center of mass. Therefore, it can be written as a IC. IC is a moment of inertia passing through the center of a disk. Now this IC is directly taken here. So IC is equal to, it is our mr square by 2. Mr square by 2. This is the moment of inertia of a thin disk about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to its plane. This disk is very thin, therefore it can be treated as a plane lamina. Disk is a thin, and therefore it can be treated as a lamina, plane lamina. And we can apply here perpendicular axis theorem to find the moment of inertia of a disk about an axis along the diameter. So let us consider here two diameter now which are mutually perpendicular to each other. So this is our first. This is our suppose y, and another is passing in this direction. Suppose this is our y. These two axes are lying in a plane of a disk. This is our x, this is our y, and this is our z axis. You are well known about the moment of inertia of a disk about the z axis is IC, and it is equal to mr square by 2. M is mass of a disk, and r is radius of the disk. Radius of the disk. We have to find the moment of inertia of a disk about two diametrically axes along the diameter. Moment of inertia of a disk about its diameter. So this is our moment of inertia of a disk about its diameter, which is denoted as a ID, and ID can be written as equal to IY. Similarly here also, this is the moment of inertia of a disk about its diameter, again another diameter, and this ID can be written as equal to Ix. Again by applying here perpendicular axis theorem. So perpendicular axis theorem says that the moment of inertia about z axis, this can be is equal to moment of inertia about x axis plus moment of inertia about y axis. Moment of inertia about x axis and moment of inertia about the y axis. Now this, putting the values here, this is our IC is equal to ID plus ID. But you are well known that the moment of inertia of the disk about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to the plane is mr square by 2. So putting here the mr square by 2. So mr square by 2 is equal to id plus id means twice id. So therefore id can be written as equal to, it is mr square by 4. mr square by 4. So this is the moment of inertia of a disk about an axis passing along its diameter. So how we can find it? By taking the moment of inertia of a disk about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to its plane, can be written as equal to mr square by 2. M is mass of a disk, r is radius of the disk. This is our IC. We treat as an IC. Suppose that axis is Z, suppose. Now consider the two axes x and y lying in a plane of the disk and perpendicular to each other. They are perpendicular to each other. So x and y are the two axes which are perpendicular to each other and lying in the plane of the disk. Now by applying the perpendicular axis theorem directly, so moment of inertia about z axis is equal to moment of inertia about x axis and moment of inertia of the y axis, addition of these two. Now putting the values here, and we have here the moment of inertia of the disk about its diameter, and it is mr square by 4. mr square by 4. So this is our second application. Now the third application is the moment of inertia of solid cylinder. Moment of inertia of solid cylinder. Moment of inertia of a solid cylinder. So let us consider here the solid cylinder now. This is our solid cylinder. Like this. This is our solid cylinder. So this solid cylinder, you are well known about that the moment of inertia of the solid cylinder about an axis along the axis of the cylinder, along the axis of the cylinder. So this is our axis. Along the axis of the cylinder is IC, and that IC can be written as equal to mr square by 2 again. mr square by 2. Now we have to find here the moment of inertia of the solid cylinder about its diameter and perpendicular to its length. So for that we can consider the cylinder as like this. So this is our solid cylinder. We can apply here both the theorems here, parallel axis theorem as well as perpendicular axis theorem. So this is our solid cylinder. Now this is our center of the cylinder, and this is the axis which is perpendicular to the length of the cylinder. Like this. So this is the axis perpendicular to the solid cylinder. Now let us try to obtain here the moment of inertia of the solid cylinder about this axis. This is our IC now. Now for that purpose, let us consider here the small element of the cylinder. So this is our small element. It is in the form of disc. It is in the form of disc having the thickness suppose dx, and this element is at a distance of x from our axis. Now we have here the moment of inertia of this disc about an axis passing through its center and along the diameter is our ID, and the ID is equal to, it is our mr. Suppose dx is the small m is a mass now, mass of this, or dm is a mass. So dm into r square divided by 4. So this is the moment of inertia of this disk elemental disk, and we can take this as a di also, or we can take this as a id. Okay, so id is equal to dm into r square divided by 4. So this is the moment of inertia of this elemental disk, elemental disk at a distance of x from our axis, having the thickness dx, and we have to find the moment of inertia of this complete cylinder now from that. So the moment of inertia of this along this axis is suppose IO. It is our IO. Then we have here the moment of inertia of this disc about this axis. About this axis can be written as equal to, so which is our di, it can be is equal to, it is at a distance of x. So therefore we can rewrite it as a dmx square plus id. We can consider this as a IC. So I is equal to, or di is equal to, this is our id. So this can be is equal to dm into x square plus dm into r square divided by 4. Now obtaining here our now integrating this term now. Integrating this term, we have here the required I. So I can be written as equal to integration of dm x square plus dm r square by 4. So all terms are constant here, and x varies from 0 L by 2 to L by 2 minus L by 2 to L by 2. So we can consider this as a rod. So moment of inertia can be obtained by integrating this as ml square by 12 plus we can rewrite this as mr square by 4. So this is the required moment of inertia. ml square by 12 plus mr square by 4. So we can rewrite this as a m common into bracket L square by 12 plus m by 4. Sorry, r square by 4. And we can again write as m by 4 in bracket r square plus L square by 3. So this is the moment of inertia of a cylinder, solid cylinder, about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to its length. Perpendicular to its length. So this is our L by 2 distance. This is our L by 2 distance. So we can consider here the two things. Proof is not in our syllabus. So we can consider this as a 2 and this as a rod, thin uniform rod. And by putting the values, we have here the moment of inertia of a solid cylinder about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to its plane. Okay, so this is application of our perpendicular axis theorem. So let us see how we can find this. Moment of inertia of a solid cylinder about an axis along its axis is mr square by 2. Now let us try to find out moment of inertia of the solid cylinder about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to its length. And suppose L is a length, capital M is a mass of a cylinder, capital M is the mass of the cylinder, capital L is the length of the cylinder. This L can be divided into two parts, L by 2, L by 2, and we can integrate this from minus L by 2 to plus L by 2, similarly as that of a thin uniform rod. To find the LA, we can consider here the elemental disc. Elemental disc is having the thickness dx. It is at a distance x from the axis, our axis, and from that we can find here the total moment of inertia of a solid cylinder about an axis perpendicular to its length. So we'll stop here. We will see in the next period now. Okay.